Good morning, I'm Steve Sisson. Trevor Jackson is here as well. Nice to have you along as we kick off our Friday show. Coming up today, 80% of American adults don't get the recommended exercise. We apparently only have 3 years left to save the world also. So just keep that in mind. It is Free for All Friday, so while we're worried about the end of the world, let's play some requests today. The Concept Z studio line is 674-5999. You can call or text with your requests this morning. The webcam is up and running as well, and you can find that on the radio menu at SheridanMedia.com by going to 95.9 The Edge. Let's get the show started here. We've got some rock lined up, Struts, Theory of a Dead Man, Foo Fighters shortly, and here is Seether, Nobody Praying for Me, as we kick off Friday, March 18th on 95.9 The Edge. So the Zoom is on the, I don't know how the Zoom works on this thing, but somehow you accidentally do it occasionally. And good morning, I'm Steve Sisson. Trevor Jackson is here as well. Nice to have you along as we start up our Friday show. Free for All Friday today, taking requests. If you'd like to request something, the Concept Z studio line is 674-5999. You can call or text with your requests this morning. On the show today, we're going to talk about a few interesting stories, including 80% of American adults not getting the recommended exercise. And apparently, we only have 3 years left to save the world. Details coming up. The webcam is up and running. You can find it on the radio menu at SheridanMedia.com by going to Z94FM. And let's get some rock going. Don Henley, AC/DC, and Nazareth lined up. Billy Idol starts us. It's Rebel Yell as we kick off Friday, March 18th on Z94FM. I can probably do it here. Yeah. There we go. That's better.
And he says it's not just the pitchers, the position guys as well have plenty of hitting opportunities.
With 4 of them going, the good thing is that nobody's standing around very often. We've got 4 guys that can hit at the same time. They rotate out. We got 4 new ones in there, so we can go through guys a lot faster with a lot of reps. Where in the past we only had maybe 2 cages, so we've got a lot of guys standing around waiting. So we double that, and it's like I said, this is a great opportunity for the guys to get better.
Again, the Troopers will open up preseason drills with the Jets as well on April 4th. The Troopers will open up their schedule at home April 30th. They're scheduled to take on Rapid City Post 22. In Major League Baseball, the Colorado Rockies continue spring training games. The regular season opens up with the Rockies on the road in Arizona for a 3-game series April 4th. The home opener for the Rockies is April 7th against the San Diego Padres, and you'll be able to hear live Rockies baseball all season long on 87.7 FM ESPN Radio. The spring sports season getting ready to launch as the Sheridan Bronc and Lady Bronc track teams were scheduled to open up their season tomorrow at an invitational in Cody. Sheridan High School soccer teams will open up their season next week on Thursday. Well, the main event got underway yesterday, and there were a couple of upsets in the first round of the NCAA basketball tournament. Yale made his first appearance in the tournament in 54 years, and they made it memorable. The 12th-seeded Bulldogs got 31 points from Mackay Mason in a 79-75 upset of 5th-seeded Baylor in the West Region. Yale's first NCAA tournament win in school history. The Ivy League champs led by as many as 13 in the second half before having its lead cut to 1 that held them off late. Arkansas Little Rock moving on in the tournament as well, thanks to an out-of-nowhere comeback that led to an 85-83 double overtime victory over Purdue. Josh Hagan sent the game into overtime with a shot from the edge of the midcourt logo, then into double overtime with an arching shot off the glass over an outstretched defender. He finished with 31 points, sending Little Rock against Iowa State in a second-round matchup. In other action yesterday, top seed Kansas pounded Austin Peay 105-79. Duke recovered from a 3-point halftime deficit and beat UNC Wilmington by a final of 93-85. East top seed North Carolina turned a 1-point halftime lead into an 83-67 win over Florida Gulf Coast. Midwest top seed Virginia got a scare when Coach Tony Bennett collapsed before halftime, was taken to the locker room, and it turns out it was just dehydration. He returned in the second half in an 81-45 blowout of Hampton. Fred Van Fleet and Ron Baker combined for 29. Wichita State's swarming defense did the rest. The Shockers beat Arizona 65-55. The Shockers will now take on Miami. Angel Rodriguez had 24 points and 7 boards as the third-ranked Hurricanes, or should say third-seed Hurricanes, held on to defeat number 14-seed Buffalo 79-72. And Gonzaga is moving on after pulling away from Seton Hall for a 68-52 victory in their game yesterday. That's Look at Sports. I'm Trevor Jackson. You're up to date.
It's madness, I say, just madness at Sheridan Motor during the month of March. This is Andy King. Get up to $2,500 rebate or 0% financing on select new GMCs and up to $2,250 in rebates or 0% on select new Buicks, all with approved credit. See the selection at SheridanMotor.com, then visit our lot. Don't let the madness end before you march into the great savings right now through the end of the month at Sheridan Motor, Coffeen Avenue, Sheridan, Wyoming.
This weather update brought to you by Coffeen Dyno and Repair in Sheridan. Whether a gas vehicle or diesel, you need to keep it in top running condition. That's where Coffeen Dyno and Repair comes in. No matter how you use your vehicle, Coffeen Dyno and Repair behind Apple will keep it going perfectly.
Here's your updated forecast from the SheridanMedia.com Weather Center for Sheridan and the area today. Temperatures expected to range in the mid-30s this afternoon. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy skies. Lows overnight around 10 and temperatures in the 40s for Saturday. Currently in Sheridan, 22 degrees.
You are being taken under our power.
Awesome! And now, Sheridan's Rock Radio Morning Show on Z94FM.
Good morning, I'm Steve Sisson. Trevor Jackson is here as well. Nice to have you along as we start up our Friday show. Free for all Friday today, taking requests. If you'd like to request something in the Concept Z studio line is 674-5999. You can call or text with your requests this morning. On the show today, we're going to talk about a few interesting stories, including 80% of American adults not getting the recommended exercise. And apparently, we only have 3 years left to save the world. Details coming up. The webcam is up and running. You can find it on the radio menu at SheridanMedia.com by going to Z94FM. And let's get some rock going. Don Henley, AC/DC, and Nazareth lined up. Billy Idol starts us. It's Rebel Yell as we kick off Friday, March 18th on Z94FM. That's the sound of my zip whip, Trevor. That's what my zip whip sounds like. What does yours sound like? All right. Stop already. There's nothing coming in. Why is it doing that? You bastard. Grant, Steve, what's going on in here? It is Free for All Friday. You can call or text the Concept Z studio line, 674-5999. Add your songs to the list today. We'll get the stuff you need to know coming up shortly, and we'll also take a look at the forecasting of the weekend. Looks like things are going to improve a little bit going into the weekend. It's been kind of cold and fall-like out there this week, but I think next week things will start to look a little bit better. We'll take a look at that on the way shortly. First, let's take a look at what's going on in Florida.
Down to Florida. We welcome you to the Sunshine State. They're kicking back and soaking up the rays every day in Florida.
Well, if you were listening yesterday, this story is going to sound awfully familiar. A man in Central Florida was arrested after telling a deputy he was speeding because he had to go to the bathroom. Officials say the 24-year-old refused to get out of his vehicle after being nabbed for going 20 miles over the speed limit. He said he had to go to the bathroom and drove off. The deputy followed the man to his home. When he tried to run inside, the deputy fired a taser at him, and then he urinated in the back of the patrol car on the way to jail. So the differences between this story and yesterday's, no marijuana involved that we know of, and also it was only number one.
Well, it's a speeding ticket. Do you have to get tased for a speeding ticket?
Yeah. Well, now he was running away from the officer, and that escalated things, I guess. I guess.
Really? At
You
least
know-
he didn't shoot him, I guess.
That's the thing, though. You got to remember that. If you really have to go really badly, you still can't speed too much because you may be detained
Yes.
longer and make things even worse. So, I guess. Still, yeah, like you said, it may be a little bit... You know, the guy had to pee. That's his only crime, really. Stuff you need to know coming up next.
What articulable evidence do you have that I committed a crime?
What these dumbasses don't realize is that, you know, traffic violations aren't crimes anyway. They're like infractions of whatever. Yeah, they're so minor. And if you get pulled over and you start acting like that, you're going to make it worse. Time now for the stuff you need to know. Here's what's going on in the world. Frank Sinatra Jr. died of heart failure on Wednesday. He was 72. Let's see. Leonard's dad is coming to Big Bang Theory. Judd Hirsch will be playing that role. Tim McGraw's song, Humble and Kind, a tune he wrote about his daughter going away to college, will soon become a book. I've seen a couple of other books based on country songs before. SeaWorld has announced that they're going to end their orca whale breeding program and eventually phase out the shows as well. I think that's probably a good thing. For the record, lightning did strike the Trump Tower in Chicago Tuesday night, the day of the primary election. So for those of you who read into that kind of stuff, read away. Does it mean...
What? It's the weather. It was a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
It's a tall building. They get hit by lightning all the time.
Once again, Denmark has been named the world's happiest country. Okay. Hillary Clinton is going to appear in this week's episode of the Comedy Central show Broad City. Katy Perry has now met Orlando Bloom's mom. It's getting serious now. Michelle Pfeiffer is looking into launching her own health products line. Just outside of Seattle, a customer looking at a van at a car dealership was looking around inside and found a dead body. Yeah. Radar scans of King Tut's tomb seem to indicate a couple of previously hidden rooms that could contain incredible treasures. Really? A mystery glitch has knocked out the San Francisco rail system for the second time in a month now. Google Computer won a series of games of the Chinese game Go by beating a world-class champion 4-1. Games are kind of easy for computers, though, because they're all based on logical steps.
Exactly.
The computer can think way far ahead of what the guy can, so. Arnold Palmer says he will not hit the ceremonial first tee shot at the Masters this year. And Republican Texas Congressman Pete Sessions is proposing a resolution to recognize magic as a national treasure.
What? Magic Johnson?
Just magic. I don't know.
Like pulling a rabbit out of a hat magic?
I think that's what he's talking about, yes. See, this is the kind of stuff that makes people not like what goes on in Congress. Because of all the problems in the world, here we have legislation.
If he could make Harry Reid disappear, I'm all for it. Because he is a turd.
I just don't like listening to Harry Reid talk.
No,
I just don't like the way he talks.
I want to grab him by the throat. Yeah. I don't condone violence, and just slap him. Not hard, just slap him enough to wake him up. I would feel so much better if I could just slap him across the face.
He just has such a whiny way of talking, too. I just don't like it.
Such a wuss. He is a candy ass.
Well,
he makes my skin crawl.
I'm sorry that
it has nothing to do with party affiliation. He's a weenie.
He is. Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
I'd like to kick his ass is what I would like to do. Just walk up to him and just bitch slap the shit out of him.
Yep.
God, he's such a pussy.
He is.
Oh my God.
He's always just whining and whimpering about
Shut up.
Poor Democrats are always being beat up by the Republicans.
Punk ass mother.
So Joel Corey has a collection of punk memorabilia worth $7.2 million.
Nice.
And it will soon go up in flames. He is the son of late Sex Pistols manager Malcolm McLaren and Vivienne Westwood, and says he will burn his vast amounts of clothing from the punk era later this year as a kind of protest against celebrations honoring 40 years of punk. That's a perfect punk attitude.
It is. That is the anti-establishment
attitude of punks.
Exactly
The
right.
real punks.
The real punks.
Not
Yep.
the new wavers of the 80s.
Right.
That thought they were punks. No, the real punks.
The first generation.
Yeah, like the Stooges and the Sex Pistols and
Yep.
the Clash.
Yep. He says, when the Queen gives a nod to Punk's 40th anniversary year, you know something has gone seriously wrong.
Yeah, just listen to some of the old punk songs,
Yeah.
especially the Sex Pistols.
Right.
Remember God Save the Queen? She's not a
I
human
was just
being.
going to say that, yeah.
And Anarchy in the UK? Yeah.
Yep. He says, the most dangerous thing is that they've stopped fighting for what they believe in. We need to explode all the blank once more.
There
so
you go.
He's going to do it. So he's going to burn up $7.2 million worth of punk memorabilia as in a perfect punk way. I think that's just awesome. News coming up next.
I did not like punk.
No, I never got into
Some
it.
of it was good.
Yeah, I just never really got into the whole. Yeah, like I said, a few of the songs I got into, but
Like the Ramones.
Yep.
Sex Pistols.
Yep.
Okay, the Clash. I like those. Other than that, no, I
No.
wasn't really into the whole. I'm 5'3" and I weigh $110 and I'm a total badass. It's like, no, you just have like pins stuck through your face.
I did like the big "fu" attitude, though.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, and that was the fans. They would say that too. Everyone.
Yep.
I mean Johnny Rotten.
Johnny
is
Rotten
a
interviews.
total asshole.
Johnny Rotten interviews are great to watch.
Yeah, because his eyeballs are like.
Yeah. And he's just like, he's
Fuck off!
yeah, he's just so pissed to be there. He would rather be doing anything but that. And he makes life hell for the reporter. All right, just rearrange a couple of things here. And probably a couple of things here, too.
Okay, 10:21 yesterday. What song played on the Edge?
In the morning?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know.
it's about 10:21, I think. Right around 10:20.
We're going to take a look. We had Rob Zombie at 10:17.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Is that his
Everybody's
new one?
Yeah, everybody's
Fucking get a UFO.
Yeah,
yeah.
because I heard it once and I was like, okay, because it kind of sounded like Primus
Yeah, it does.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, Primus isn't even around anymore, and I've never heard that before. And then I heard it again, and I'm listening to it. I'm going, I think sounded like Rob Zombie.
Yep. Typical Rob Zombie lyrics too, just absolute craziness. Yeah.
Okay, whatever, dude.
Yeah, I love there's a couple of lines about smoking up some monkey brains or something in there, and yeah. I think he mentions a glory hole in there once, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. Nice.
Everybody's fucking in a UFO. It took me a while to find a clean version of that one, surprisingly.
Surprised, yeah.
I was gonna make one myself if I couldn't find it, because the song's getting pretty high on the charts. Okay. Time now for some news you can use. An armored truck in New Jersey dropped a bag full of money on a highway, stopping traffic as bills were blown around the road. Unlike the guys we talked about the other day where it was Monopoly money, this is the real deal. A bag of cash fell out of the truck, and then a passing truck struck the bag, causing the bills to go everywhere. The driver and several civilians attempted to scoop up the loose bills. Police say only some returned the money. Well, of course.
Only some.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it was any.
You know,
returned the money.
I'd pocket it. I have to
say that, you know what?
Unless it was like a really huge amount of money, I'd probably pocket it. If it was a couple of 20s, I'd probably just walk away like I was never there. I hate to admit it, but...
Well, I don't hate to admit it. I admit it.
You know, if it was like $2,000, I'd probably try to do the right. I would.
You said you'd try to do the right
thing.
You'd be thinking
I'd look
about
around
it.
and say, don't see anybody with a jersey on.
Right.
I'll just take it home.
I see no uniformed police officers.
No one that looks like a bank official here. I guess I tried my best. No, I think I would, because you might get a reward.
No,
which would be like
I think you'd get an
$15, but
no,
yeah.
I think you'd get an attaboy, and that's it.
Yeah, you're probably right. In other news, a Malaysian grocery chain, Tesco, has offered a job to a man caught shoplifting after hearing that he stole to feed his 3 children. The 31-year-old was caught stealing food worth $6.70, but instead of reporting him to the police, the store's general manager offered him a job. Must have believed his story. That's good.
nice of him.
And your number for the day is 31, and that is the number of days of paid time off workers in France receive each year. 31 days a year. That's not too bad. That's a month. That's a month over the year. That's pretty good. Italy has the same deal, too. So there you go. There's some news you can use. There's a lot of memes around about Denmark. Denmark is the happiest country, and they are socialist. Well, they're also a lot more capitalist, too. That's one reason why it works.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like to tell you about that part. And even then, it's debatable about how well it really does work. Let's see, I'm looking for... I'm looking for this. Here we go. The RF on my... it must be on the mics. Just a little bit. Very tiny little bit. But apparently it's enough for the YouTube algorithms to pick up on the songs. I'm getting copyright notifications for country songs. Like old rose-colored glasses and some other stuff. Once the webcam archive is done and YouTube goes through it,
that's crazy.
I get a notification. A copyright violation claim has been filed on your video.
Wow. Isn't that wild?
Charlie Pride, huh? Yeah, that's got to be what it is. We've got some birthdays here. Okay. So I'm hearing the judge now, so we'll see if that one comes up. It'd be louder if I turned this up, probably. Maybe not.
I can just barely hear it.
A little louder there. Yeah, I can barely hear it too, but it's apparently enough. Don wants to hear some Joan Jett. All right, I think we can do that. Free for All Friday continues. Your requests on the way. If you want to add something to the list, there's still plenty of time to do so. You can call or text the Concept Z studio line. 674-5999 is the number. Let's get the birthday board going here with what happened on this date in history. It was on this date in 1893 that former Governor General Lord Stanley pledged to donate a silver Challenge Cup, later named after him, as an award for the best ice hockey team in Canada. Originally presented to amateur champions, the Stanley Cup has been awarded to the top pro team since 1910, and since 1926, only to National Hockey League teams. In 1910, the first American horror film was patented. It was a one-reel Edison studio production of Frankenstein. I wonder how many versions of Frankenstein have been made over the years. Electric razors were first manufactured by the Schick Corporation on this date in 1931. President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a bill into law allowing for Hawaiian statehood on this date in 1959. It became official August 21st. On March 18th, 1970, the NFL adopted a rule that required all player names to appear on the back of their jerseys. 2001, workers equipped with a bulldozer, face masks, and a court order removed 154 tons of garbage from a man's home outside Madrid, Spain. It took 2 weeks, with 30 truckloads of trash hauled away from the house and the surrounding lot. Police said the 58-year-old resident, who repeatedly refused requests to clean up the place, lived in a tiny compartment in the back and reached it through a tunnel carved out of all the garbage.
Ooh, weird.
Yeah. What else happened on this date in history? 2007, a Hong Kong woman was brushing her teeth when she had a brush with disaster. She somehow slipped and fell and swallowed the toothbrush. She was able to call paramedics without choking. The toothbrush was eventually extracted with endoscopic surgery.
Hey.
Woo! FBI reported it had discovered who stole $580 million in masterpieces from Boston's Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. On this date in 2013, the heist took place in 1990, the greatest art heist in American history. Birthdays today: Mike Rowe, best known for Dirty Jobs, 54 today. Vanessa Williams is 53. Queen Latifah, 46. Dane Cook is 44, and Adam Levine from Maroon 5 and The Voice is 37. Locally, Dave Rollins and Alex Bloom have birthdays today. Tomorrow, we wish a happy birthday to Jennifer Bauer, Justin Oram, Sandy Kerr, Lindsey Johnson, and Ruth Dilly. And on Sunday, Dave Hoffmeyer will celebrate a birthday. Coming up, we'll take a look at the forecast and the calendar still ahead. Okay, next. All right, here's one of those crazy things that happen in political seasons. Now we're looking at the grammar used by the politicians. Donald Trump, in his speeches, he is using grammar that corresponds to people about 11 years old and under, they say. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University say that his language tails Ted Cruz, whose grammar matches students 13 to 16. The vocabulary used by Bernie Sanders is around the age of 15 to 18. They don't mention Hillary Clinton in this study. I knew that would get a sigh out of you. I'm surprised it took that long. I thought you'd sigh right as soon as I started talking about grammar and politicians. It took almost to the end of the study for you to start uttering your sighs. You know how this stuff is going to get used, too. You know exactly how it's going to get used. I've already seen something about it.
Donald Trump speaks at a 7th grade level, or whatever it is. 4th grade level.
Yeah, so what? It's plain speak. People like it. Did you hear that his one of his sons got a letter, like a death threat letter? They're actually taking it pretty seriously. It had some mysterious white powder in it.
Nice.
And it actually had like
People are so stupid.
it had like an explicit threat of his family being harmed if he didn't withdraw out of the race.
People are this is like stop.
Yep. Okay. Here's another shocking story for you here. A recent study estimates that nearly 80% of adult Americans do not get the recommended amounts of exercise each week. You didn't need a study to tell us that, I don't think. We're supposed to get at least 2.5 hours of moderate intensity aerobic exercise each week. That's 1 hour and 15 minutes of vigorous intensity activity or some kind of combination of both. Adults should also engage in muscle strengthening activities like lifting weights or doing push-ups at least twice per week. Well, none of us are doing that kind of stuff. Well, at least not most of us. Only 20% of people met the total recommended amounts of exercise, about 23% of all surveyed men and 18% of surveyed women. That's just kind of, it's one of those things you have to work it into your schedule somehow. And usually it's not something you really look forward to. So you just don't stick with it, even if you do try usually. We'll have rock news coming up for you in a little bit and more of your requests on Free for All Friday if you want to add to it. Still plenty of time to do so. You can call or text the Concept Z studio line 674-5999.
Okay, we have an interview here. Baylor got knocked out of the tournament yesterday by Yale.
Yes.
And supposedly, the players go for their post-game news conference. And even the teams that lose have to put players out there.
Yeah.
And I just saw something this morning that said that some reporter asked one of the Baylor players kind of a snarky kind of question.
Uh-huh.
And then they said he had a great comeback. And let's see what he said.
Yeah.
Go up and grab the ball off the rim when it comes off.
He said, okay, the question was, blah, blah, blah. That's a question about Yale's 36 to 32 rebounding advantage. Okay.
Grab it with two hands, and you come down with it, and that's considered a rebound. So they got more of those than we did. You go up and grab the ball off the rim when it comes off, and then you grab it with two hands, and you come down with it, and that's considered a rebound. So they got more of those than we did.
Okay, I guess.
Grab the ball off the rim when it comes off.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I don't.
He's basically talking about a rebound. I don't. Not quite sure. Let's take a look at rock news. What do you say, huh? Former Guns N' Roses manager Alan Niven believes that cash is the motivation behind the band's partial reunion tour. You think?
That's the only reason.
That's
the
not
only reason.
that's not earth-shattering revelation there, Alan.
It's the only reason, dude.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. They still. I don't know how well they get along even. So it's like what, a couple of shows and that's it. Gene Simmons believes that rap music will die. He reiterates his belief that rock is already dead, and he also makes a surprising suggestion of who can revive rock in this recent interview. Let's take a look at this. It was a radio.com thing. I am looking forward to the death of rap, he said. I am looking forward to music coming back to lyrics and melody instead of just talking. A song, as far as I'm concerned, is by definition lyric and melody or just melody. I'm all for anybody talking. Wild Thing was talking. There's no melody there. That's cool, but predominantly music is all about melody and lyric, whether it's rap or doo-wop. He says, rap will die next year, 10 years from now at some point, and then something else will come along, and all that is good and healthy. I don't know. No, rap's not going to die anytime soon. No. I mean, what kind of genres have died off? Like swing's not. Well, swing's making a comeback now, though.
Disco
kind of died off.
Goodness.
Which Kiss was involved with, by the way, Gene.
Yeah, you did that. I Was Made for Loving You song.
Maybe if you want a rap to die, Kiss needs to make a rap album. They kind of did that disco thing right around the end of it, didn't they? I mean, that was pretty close.
It was about making money. That's all they were really in it for.
Well, yeah. So, what does he say about Rappa coming back here? Let's see here. He says that rock and music itself could be saved by one of pop's biggest stars. He says, as far as I'm concerned, if Lady Gaga dropped the disco and the pole dancing and all that stuff and put together a rock band, she would be legitimate because she's got musical goods. I agree with that.
I do too.
Lady Gaga could be a rock star if she wanted to be. Mm-hmm. She can write songs, play instruments, she can actually sing, and she understands the fearless quality of spectacle. I'd love to see her do Queen-style music. She can do it. Madonna cannot. Okay, Gene, I agree with you there. Asking Alexandria, bassist Sam Bedley says he's lucky to be alive after walking away from a van crash. He lost control of his rental GMC when a tire burst, forcing the vehicle into a roll. He says, the tire blew out on me, causing me to lose control and flip the truck. Everything I own has been destroyed, but at least I walked away without a scratch. Grateful. I would say so. Rob Zombie is streaming the hideous exhibitions of a dedicated gore whore as the second single issued in advance of his forthcoming album. He has great song titles and great album titles, and this one is like the greatest of all. This whole album is full of great stuff like that. So we'll have the new song posted up on our Facebook page if you want to check it out. It's facebook.com/Sheridan Rock Radio. And Rush drummer Neil Purtis chronicled the band's R40 live tour in the upcoming book called Far and Wide, Bring That Horizon to Me. It'll be out in September. The project sees Purt capture his thoughts and share tales from what appears to be the band's final tour. So it might be an interesting read. And there's your rock news. So there was a guy in Tennessee who returned from vacation and found that his apartment had been burglarized. Among the items stolen were his PlayStation 4, 2 televisions, laptop, and other assorted items. After a few days, his phone alerted him that his PlayStation 4 had been turned on and showed it was still connected to his own Wi-Fi.
Oh.
So the culprit is nearby. Knowing the console had to be close and hooked up, the victim called police and told them he believed his neighbor across the hall was responsible for the theft. Police responded and searched the apartment and found all the goodies, plus a baggie of marijuana to add to the charges.
There you go.
How about that? The guy's phone figured it out for him, solved the crime. We have 9 songs in a row on the way next. Doomsday prediction time here. We need some zombie music. I think I have some here. This would be good for our doomsday prediction. We apparently only have 3 years left to save the world, Trevor.
Okay.
This is it. If the world doesn't wake up soon, mankind could find itself living in a very real version of the Matrix, controlled by sinister shape-shifting reptilian beings with disturbing plans for the Earth. This is we got this news from the self-proclaimed son of God, David Icke. He's launched a world tour to warn mankind of the impending doom presented by a group of sinister elite psychopaths using artificial intelligence computer technology. I've read theories that most of our politicians are already members of this race. So, Stephen Hawking agrees with Icks' theory that computer artificial intelligence could pose a threat to mankind, but he questions the timing. 3 years seems a little soon. Ick warns that mankind only has until 2018 to stop the self-aware machines from taking over the world. Now, I can see both sides of this argument. You know, we build computers and things and robots that become faster and smarter and stronger than us. And then how do you stop it if it goes wrong?
You unplug it from the wall?
That is it, though. That's where I fall on this. I mean, you're still ultimately... They always have some kind of a weakness that it's easy to disable it. You can just change the programming in it.
Just unplug it.
Download a virus. Just unplug it. I think that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a video about that kind of stuff that I'll post on our Facebook page, too, talking about how you really shouldn't be afraid of robots taking over the world. And we'll share it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Sheridan Rock Radio. Coming up, we got the poor guy. He just couldn't catch a break. It's up next.
Yep, it's just like that movie, The Matrix.
Yeah, it's just like that movie. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. You know, though, if robots do take over the world, and it does become like The Matrix, I don't think I'd want to be woken up. I'd be perfectly happy living in The Matrix. Here we go. Last story of the day. Andrew Gordon of Massachusetts wanted to hire a hitman to kill his wife. The hitman he hired turned out to be actually an undercover cop, a state trooper. So Gordon was arrested. In an apparent attempt to get out of the resulting charges, Gordon offered a gang member $15,000 to kill the state trooper and another witness in the case against him. The gang member was also an undercover police officer.
Okay, good deal.
And
Wow.
Gordon was arrested again.
Double whammy.
Yep, 2 hitmen for the price of 1. He's been convicted in both cases. Bye-bye, Gordon. So, that's it for the show today. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. You can find on-demand video on the webcam page at SheridanMedia.com. You just go to the radio menu and choose either Z94FM or 95.9 The Edge. And our Facebook page is facebook.com/Sheridan Rock Radio. We have a few things linked up on there for you to enjoy as well. We'll see you back here Monday. I pulled that off better today, didn't I? Didn't fumble
Much
over that
better.
once at all. Well, took 5 days, but I got it right. 9. You can call or text your requests in this morning, and lots still to come. We'll take a look at the forecast here this hour, and it looks like it is going to be a little bit nicer this weekend. A little bit later on, we've found out we only have 3 years left to save the world. We'll get you the details on that coming up. And shocking revelation that only 80% of American adults do not get the recommended exercise. Only 20% do. That story is coming up. Free for All Friday continues. Your requests, 674-5999 on the Concept Z studio line. Here's Guns N' Roses' November Rain on Z94FM. I'm Steve Sisson along with Trevor Jackson. It is Free for All Friday. The Concept Z studio line is 674-5999. Call or text with your requests this morning. Still to come, we'll take a look at the forecast this hour. Looks like it's going to be a little bit nicer this weekend. Details coming up. Shocking revelation. 80% of American adults do not get the recommended amount of exercise. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. We'll take a look at rock news on the way, and also just 3 years is all we have to save the world. Some doomsday prediction happening out there. We'll share it with you coming up. Right now, nothing more. Here's To the Heartache on 95.9 The Edge. And it will soon go up in flames. He is the son of late Sex Pistols manager Malcolm McLaren and Vivienne Westwood, and says he will burn his vast amounts of clothing from the punk era later this year as a kind of protest against celebrations honoring 40 years of punk. That's a perfect punk attitude.
It is. That is the anti-establishment attitude of punks.
Exactly,
the
right.
Real punks.
The real punks, yep.
Not the new wavers of the 80s.
Right.
That thought they were punks. No, the real punks.
The first generation.
Yeah, like the Stooges and the Sex Pistols and the Clash.
Yep. He says, when the Queen gives a nod to punk's 40th anniversary year, you know something has gone seriously wrong.
Yeah, just listen to some of the old punk songs.
Yeah.
Especially the Sex Pistols.
Right.
Remember God Save the Queen? She's not a human
I was just going to say that, yeah.
And Anarchy in the UK, yeah.
Yep. He says, the most dangerous thing is that they've stopped fighting for what they believe in. We need to explode all the blank once more.
There you go.
He's going to do it. So he's going to burn up $7.2 million worth of punk memorabilia in a perfect punk way. I think that's just awesome. News coming up next.
Playing tonight at your Centennial Theaters, the Divergent series Allegiant is rated PG-13. Miracles from Heaven is rated PG. Zootopia is rated PG. 10 Cloverfield Lane is rated PG-13. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot is rated R. London Has Fallen is rated R. And showing Thursday, March 24th, Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice rated PG-13. Sheridan Film Festival every Wednesday. See a movie at your theaters.
Hi, this is Jake Bray, your chef at Frackleton's, highlighting our new grilled chicken parm sandwich. This new sandwich item features grilled chicken breast paired with a traditional French bread, fresh mozzarella, seasoned with basil and tomato sauce. Our new grilled chicken parmesan sandwich is the perfect Frackleton's lunch choice. This is Jake Bray, your chef at Frackleton's, inviting you to Frackleton's for lunch.
Remember to book your table early at frackletons.com.
Are you or your group planning an event? Do you want to know what else is happening in and around the Sheridan area? You'll find the most comprehensive community calendar of events at SheridanMedia.com. Sheridan Media updates the community calendar daily, adding events that feed other calendars, including the Chamber of Commerce and Sheridan Travel and Tourism. Yes, one contact does it all. Call 672-7421 or email your event today to info@SheridanMedia.com, your hometown homepage.
Hi, this is Steve Sisson inviting you to join me for 4 hours of electronic dance music this weekend on Essential EDM. We'll do 4 hours of progressive house, trance, chill out, and great dance remixes as well. If you like EDM, we've got it for you every Saturday night right after Open House Party. Essential EDM, powered by Wyoming Work Warehouse. It starts Saturday night at 10 o'clock right here on Q104.9, 98.5 in Gillette. Today's hit music.
The following message is presented by Sheridan Media and the Bank of Buffalo.
They help shape Sheridan's culture. Hi, this is Bobby Mitzel, inviting you to join us celebrating 2016 Keystone honorees Judy Taylor, Jack Pellissier, and Esther McKenzie at the Keystone Awards event on Thursday, April 21st at the YO Theater. Tickets are available at the YO for an evening of live entertainment, food, and music. Proceeds support the services of the Sheridan Senior Center.
95.9 The Edge is KZWY HD3 Sheridan, translator K240 DW Sheridan. 1 minute before 7 o'clock.
I'm News Director Leslie Stratmon for SheridanMedia.com News. Volunteers of America has been awarded a one-year grant in the amount of $8,000 from the B.F. and Rose H. Perkins Foundation to provide students the opportunity to attend Camp Postcard this summer. Camp Postcard is a value-based program targeted at 5th and 6th grade youth. The week-long free camp is held in June on Casper Mountain and is designed to provide leadership and decision-making skills through many different activities that include archery, rock climbing, crafts, riflery, and police demonstrations. This summer's camp will mark the 13th year the Sheridan Police Department has partnered with VOA on Camp Postcard. Officer John King has taken part in the camp every year since the partnership. Members of the Sheridan Area Water Supply Joint Powers Board continue to weigh the options of consolidating to have the City of Sheridan take over full ownership of the water system that serves both city and county residents. Sheridan Mayor John Heath says he supports the consolidation.
I think it's a good deal to consolidate. The city does do most of the maintenance of the water system.
A draft agreement to transfer assets and liabilities of the Joint Powers Board to the city was presented to SAWS last week at the regular monthly meeting. SAWS Joint Powers Board attorney Tony Wentland said the draft is currently being reviewed by city officials, SAWS project manager Dan Coughlin, and Sheridan County attorney Matt Riedel. A remodel of the Sheridan Police Department is expected to begin in about a month, according to Police Lieutenant Tom Ringley. Making the building more efficient is what they hope to achieve.
Basically, we're going to have all of the administration in one wing. The detectives and community service officers will be moving upstairs as well. The basement area, we're going to be able to really expand the evidence room.
To hear more, go to SheridanMedia.com. I'm Leslie Stratmon, and you're up to date.
DeCastro's Party Store and Beauty Salon is now open and taking appointments. Natalie Webb and Sandy Bent are excited to welcome new clients. Weekly specials include Tuesday, Men's Day. Haircuts just $12.50. Wednesday is Senior Day, 15% off for all seniors. Thursday is Ladies' Day with 10% off all services. And Friday's Fun Day, featuring $10 haircuts for kids under 12. Call 655-5607. DeCastro Party Store and Beauty Salon on North Main behind Verizon.
Spring is here and we're going to get you into a truck. Pre-owned vehicle here at Hammer Chevrolet, Dick.
Just what everybody's looking for, Bob. We got a great selection of 2014s, including a double cab GMC with only 27,000 miles. We've got a high country Chevy 2014 Crew Cab, 40,000 miles, one owner local, and many, many more to choose from. Great selection of late model used pickups.
Check them out online, hammerchevy.com. Go online, check out their website, and stop by 107 East Alger. They're open Saturdays till 4.
95.9 The Edge is KZWY HD3 Sheridan and K240 DW 95.9 FM Sheridan. It's 2 minutes after 7 o'clock.
By golly, I think spring is trying its dead level best to get here, and you know what that means? Boats, motorcycles, ATVs, campers, and convertibles. Before long, you can even think about one of those super deluxe riding moors with a big beverage cup holder. Well, whatever gets your blood pumping, Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union has a loan for it. So let's go to Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union, 141 South Gould, member NCUA, equal housing lender.
From the Sheridan Media Sports Desk, I'm Trevor Jackson. More baseball action today on the local scene as Sheridan American Legion Baseball will hold their player-parent meeting Monday night at Thornrider Stadium. The meeting will get underway at 5:30. All Jets and Troopers players and their parents should attend. Here's Troopers head coach Ben Phillips.
It's kind of the start of our parents and our kids getting together and just kind of go over the expectations for the year and what everybody's roles are and what we're looking forward to. Weather permitting, we'll have it at Thornrider, but if it's the weather doesn't turn out so nice, we can always come into this indoor facility and get it done as well.
And speaking of that indoor facility, the Troopers and Jets have had that for the last couple of years, but boy, the improvements have been made, and it is a very nice place. You stop by and check it out sometime. That indoor facility is a great place for the players to get a jump start in the preseason. being able to work out even when the weather is questionable, and Phillips says that most of their players have done that.
It's a great opportunity for these guys to get started earlier than we have in the past. It's really good for our pitchers and a good way for us to increase our velocity with our fastballs and our arm strength and work on off speed before our official practice opens on April 4th. So we've got 4 batting cages in here. A lot of these guys have been doing this for the last 6 weeks, and I think that we'll be ready to go once the season starts up. We've had around 20 kids here on the nights that we're running these on Mondays and Thursdays. They're all pitchers. They're all throwing. It saves so much time when we start the season throwing bullpens. You know, we're all ready to go now, so we can focus on situational stuff, getting the kids used to ground balls and not waste an hour every night throwing bullpens. That's I'm kind of stressing everybody, whether you're a pitcher or not. Let's get here and let's throw off the mounds and let's just throw as hard as we can every Monday and Thursday just to increase our arms. That's kind of our weakness, which has been in the past, is we don't have any high velocity guys. So we're trying to create some guys that increase their velocity, their fastball, so we can get guys throwing in the 80s rather than the mid-70s.
And again, officially, the season will open for the Troopers and Jets on April 4th for their first practices. The Troopers will open up their season at home. Their first game is April 30th against Rapid City Post 22. The Colorado Rockies open up the Major League Baseball regular season with a 3-game road series at Arizona. That's Monday, April the 4th. First live regular season broadcast will start at 7 o'clock in the evening. The Rockies' home opener is April 7th against the San Diego Padres. And again, all season long, you can hear Colorado Rockies baseball on 87.7 FM ESPN Radio. That's a look at sports. I'm Trevor Jackson. You're up to date.
Get in touch with the local services you need with the green pages at SheridanMedia.com. It's easy to find. Just go to SheridanMedia.com, click on the green pages, and bookmark it. The green pages at SheridanMedia.com.
Here's your updated forecast from the SheridanMedia.com Weather Center. Some showers still a possibility on and off throughout the day today. Look for highs this afternoon in the 30s. We'll see teens overnight. The outlook for Saturday, sunshine, temperatures 40s tomorrow. Currently in Sheridan, it's 15 degrees.
You guys rock.